Welcome, everybody. I call this meeting of the Scotts Valley Community Advisory Committee to order at 5 minutes after 5. And so welcome, everybody, on a nice day. Glad that you're here today. And we'll start by, now the meeting is called to order. I'll ask for acceptance of the minutes from last month. Do I have a motion on that? To accept the last month's meetings?
Wait.
Can you guys hear it okay? Madam Cornelius needs to turn the mic, or she's sharing the mic. Not very clearly.
Where are you on the agenda?
All right, the first thing, asking for acceptance of the agenda to be posted. I'm sorry, this particular agenda.
We need to amend that. We do not have a speaker.
Okay, so I ask that with a motion that we amend this current meeting minutes to show that the agenda, that the speaker did not show up, and accept a correction and the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Cornelia, a second. A second by Jarrett. All in favor, indicated by raising their hands. Motion carries. Okay, so the agenda is official. Public comment at this time, 3 minutes from anybody on a subject not on this agenda. May I address the council board, and remember that we will not take action on it, but we may consider it as a future agenda item. And when we recognize Margot, come on up.
Good evening, Scotts Valley. Margot Kambara. Last week, Cobb and Middletown marked the 10th anniversary of the Valley Fire. One positive outcome of the Valley Fire's devastation is an elevation of disaster preparedness and community unity. Lake Area Planning Council's Wildfire Evacuation Analysis and Preparedness Memo states, quote, "The Valley Fire highlighted the need for comprehensive wildfire preparedness and resilience measures and underscored the need to evacuate immediately," end quote. Building on Lake County's fire preparedness, Lake Area Planning Council welcomes public input on its draft Wildfire Evacuation and Preparedness Plan. The plan sets standard evacuation protocols and procedures for relevant agencies. It will be used to analyze risk assessments of existing transportation facilities to determine potential strategies or improvements needed for vulnerable areas and populations. Thanks to Cornelia Sieber Davis for including the link to the Wildfire Evacuation Preparedness Plan in the email with today's meeting materials. The draft plan is posted on Lake Area Planning Council's website, lakeapc.org. Using radio alphabet, the website is lakealphapapacharlie.org. On the Lake Area Planning Council's landing page, click on the icon for the draft plan. Thank you. And I have one other, on an unrelated topic.
Okay, on this same subject, did the county, the sheriff's office, the Office of Emergency Service comment on this plan, and is it congruent with what they have in their county plan? Are they coordinating with that?
That I don't know, but I would hope that that is the case.
I would hope so, because we need to be on a northbound northbound ticket, so I think maybe you might suggest that committee just to check with the Office of Emergency Service on the disaster plan.
This Wednesday, Congressman Thompson his staff is holding an open house or office hours from noon to 2 p.m. at the Nature Center at Rodman Preserve, and that is 6350 West Lake Road in Upper Lake. These office hours are for help with passports, visas, veterans benefits, IRS issues, agricultural issues, small business assistance, immigration, Medicare, Medicaid, or if you're facing any other problem navigating federal government.
Can you repeat the date?
Wednesday, the 17th of September, from noon to 2, at Rodman Preserve, the Nature Center. Thank you.
On that same subject, on the Medicare, there's talk in the medical community that the video visits with doctors may be going away on that, which means people will have to travel to long distances to have their doctor visits versus the convenience of videos for a 15-minute, here's your results, here's what's going on. I would hope that we would advocate that this is something that's needed to save us gas money, time, and effort to this group, and something that they might focus on. Thank you. Council recognizes Sky Hoyt.
And thank you. I've been absent for a couple of months from extended health problems. I think you have to turn it on. And push the button? Yeah. See the little green one?
Okay, just a second, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Thank you. I've been absent for a couple of months from medical issues, and I haven't been keeping up with everything you've been talking about, but I seem to come back to this group, and I've been attending this for I think almost since the inception, and the original goal of why this group was formed back when Tina Scott got it going was to deal with the drainage and flooding issues in Scotts Creek and Scotts Valley, and I haven't really seen that come up on the agenda. I remember in the springtime there was talk about Public Works and Water Resources guys were going to come talk to us, and I see it's almost fall. I mean, we're just a couple of days away from the beginning of fall, and are we ever going to get back to that? So that's my thing, and I read this thing about, electric vehicle charging stations, and that's just wonderful, but that's not really what's on my mind about surviving in Scotts Valley in the near future. So just kind of wondering what's happening with those as subjects.
Well, it's certainly still on the table. It's not on this particular agenda as much except for a report on groundwater, but basically it's certainly still something that we are considering.
I think that Brad Rasmussen reported on a flood study that's starting this fall at the last meeting. Did you want to,
I'll address that in my report.
okay.
Okay, anybody else? At this time, we'll close the public comment hearing and move on. As we mentioned that in the agenda motion that we accepted, the guest speaker was not able to attend today, so we have to move on past that to council business. Item A, consideration of the draft minutes. So we'll look for maybe a motion to accept the minutes from the August Advisory Committee. I open that up to the board. Anybody approve those minutes? Jody makes a motion to accept the minutes from August. Is there a second?
Joel? Joel, you second?
Second.
Second by Joel. All in favor to accept the minutes from last month? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Move on to old business, and we have from old business a discussion on the support of the Scotts Valley Women's Club, which is this building and this grounds about
Do you want to say
it
something?
being available to us in the future. Cornelia, would you like to comment on this?
Jody, Bibiana, and I went to their meeting on September 8th, and they were very receptive of our offer to assist them to regain their nonprofit status and to help them with fundraising efforts. They have very few members, and they look forward to enlarging that group. Do you remember something Do you remember other things that we should mention? Bibiana, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, come on up to the lectern here, and please give us your name so we know who you are with that big smile.
She likes the microphone.
Oh, yeah. You know I love a microphone. My name is Bibiana Love, and Cornelia Siebert Davis and Jody Altick and myself went to the Women's Club meeting, and it was so surprising. They've been meeting since 1921, over 100 years. And yes, they were, they're very elderly and confused about their tax exempt status, but Cornelia and Jody are offered assistance, and Cornelia joined the club.
Did you? Did you?
Did you, Jody?
Not yet.
Me neither,
Not yet.
Not yet. That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So the idea is to support the Women's Club that has low membership and try to get back on their feet and refocus. They're looking at now, I understand, the possibility of having to revive the St. Patrick's Day meal here. That was always a fundraiser in the past and heavily attended. Last year it was canceled because of lack of only 10 people calling to RSVP, and that certainly wouldn't is enough. Normally this room is full. So ideas about this room serving as a community center, having these type of the St. Patrick's Day meal, the hot dog or weenie roaster in the year, and being rented out for different things such as first day, or CPR classes, sewing groups, and so forth. In the past has dwindled, so we have quite a concern. Also, Cornelia and I guess Jody and you guys did a great job cleaning around the property here to make it more fire safe and
That's
and
going
nice.
to come up in the report.
We'll come up with it a little
Yeah.
bit later. So
As far as the Women's Club is concerned, they are enthusiastic about keeping it open for the community. Their main fundraiser is, or has been, the St. Patrick's Dinner, but that doesn't mean it has to be the only one. I think we kind of had a ballpark figure of between $8,000 to $10,000 a year that they require to be not on a shoestring. So if we can help them raise, you know, anything above 5,000 will enable them to not be operating on a really tight shoestring. So I suggested the goal of 8,000 to 10,000 so that they can have a little bit of a fund in case of a disaster, a new roof, or whatever needs to happen, new heater, and they don't have to take out a loan or something.
well,
And yeah, one of the main important factors to raising some funds is for them to be a nonprofit. The County of Lake can support them a little bit if they are a nonprofit. So that is what we are going to try to accomplish for them as soon as possible.
some of the key issues is not only the property tax that's due every year, but the insurance. And we all know how that affects people in Lake County, the insurance that they're charging.
Yeah.
Even though we cleaned up around here, it's still within a certain high zone, which the insurance companies go by that. It's not coming out here and looking at what we did to make this a defensible space or a fire safe type of a deal.
Their biggest expense is heating and cooling, in addition to
Yeah.
that, what you mentioned.
And your board members have, for the last 2 months, have each put in $5 just to pay for the utilities here to help the club out, because right now all the money's coming out of the president's pockets herself. So we are trying to support her with a $5 donation each time we come in here, just for the use of the utilities in this room and so forth. So we're working to try to do this, and like I say, membership today in a lot of things is dwindling. If you know of of ladies in the Scotts Valley area or outside, I think, if they wanted to come here and become members and support this, maybe the leadership of the youth of leadership, and you have guidance from the folks that have been here for a while, can bring this back in here. So it's a matter of collaborating and inviting and talking with people to try to do this. So
Membership is free.
yeah, and you won't break the bank. So that's our concern here, is we want to support them since they've been so kind to us, and we'd hate to lose this facility. It is a landmark and a community center for this area. So enough on that. Anybody have any comments on this Scotts Valley Women's? Anybody online? Okay, thank you. All right, so with that said, we'll go on to new business, which there's none. So we're going to go into the next part of your agenda, updates, calendars, and miscellaneous reports. At this time, I invite our 4th District Supervisor, Rasmussen, to come up and share with us. Brad?
Yeah, good evening, council members. Thank you for mentioning the Mike Thompson office hours. I'm also going to be present at that event, and for any county questions or concerns that may come up as well. The flood study. I know we had Water Resources here a couple months ago, I believe it was, giving us an update. Unfortunately, Sky was not available then, but maybe you can go back and watch that presentation also on the YouTube recording. But regardless, hopefully the flood study that we gave money to fund for Scotts Valley is going to go out to, or hopefully it's going to start this fall. They need to do the RFP, I believe, on it, which should be coming out. But we want to get that going so we can try to figure out what some of the issues are, and then once that's identified, be in a position to seek funding once we have a study documented on any kind of improvements that we may be able to make. So, and I'll talk to you in more detail too, because I know you sent me a message regarding some questions, but hopefully that's going to get going soon. We did swear in a new public health officer right after Labor Day, so we have a permanent one now, and then we also have 2 contracts with 2 backup health officers in case the primary is off or not available for some reason. The Sonoma Clean Power discussion. I know you had a presentation here on September 30th at 5 p.m. at the Board of Supervisors chambers. We are doing a joint meeting with the 2 city councils. So the board and both city councils will be at the board chamber for a workshop to discuss Sonoma Clean Power, to hear an updated presentation and give all the elected officials the opportunity to ask more questions about it. And then that also gives the public more opportunities to monitor and ask questions, because we really do want to hear the public thoughts, because soon after this meeting, probably sometime in October, we expect to get the formal offer from Sonoma Clean Power offering our 3 jurisdictions in the county to join in. So we'll be making a decision probably, I would say within the next couple months. But definitely, if you have more questions, come to that meeting or watch it on online platform. September 30th at 5 p.m. in person at the board chamber, or on the usual Facebook, YouTube platforms that we put our meetings on. Lars Ewing is continuing as our interim public works director. He's also still running the public services. the good candidate that I thought we had for animal control director pulled out of the process during the offer period, so now we're back to square one. We've got 0 applicants. So hopefully, but our assistant chief administrative officer, Stephen Carter, is the interim director of animal control, and I think he's been doing a good job. He's out there very frequently checking in and making sure things are moving along, and I also took it up on myself to go to the advisory board meetings for animal control and try to help them get dialed in, because within the next 6 months or so, they need to do an annual report to the Board of Supervisors. So I've been going to all those meetings since May, when they started back up after a 14-month pause on those meetings. I know your council member Jared Hendricks knows Larry Ray. I'm not sure if the rest of you do. I'm not sure who he actually is working for now, but he was frequently working for some of the tribes. But he's been doing a project studying an invasive weed plant that's up on Cow Mountain for the last numerous years. He wants to do a presentation here to this board, because while that plant was originated up in 8 Mile Valley area and was just in that area, it is now starting to migrate down towards the valley. So he thought it would be important, and I agreed. He talked to me last Friday that
Brad,
we
what
should.
was his name again?
Larry Ray.
Larry Ray.
And he knows Jared Hendricks very well. I asked him to touch base with Jared, and so Jared can work out a date with the council in the future for a presentation. Just checking my notes. And then one item I've been working on for a while, it was originally going to happen tomorrow to go in front of the board, but now it's delayed until October 21st. But I'm going to be bringing the board a request to be open to possibly entering an agreement with all the tribes and all the state agencies that do work on Clear Lake to have a co-management agreement in the future, essentially so that we're all operating the same when it comes to activities and management happening on Clear Lake. As you may know, the state of California delegated management authority of Clear Lake to the County of Lake in 1973. It was transferred, management was transferred from the State Lands Commission to the County of Lake. And we have a lot of state agencies, 7 tribes, as you know, and numerous county agencies and other non-government organizations that are doing work in the interest of Clear Lake. It's wildlife, the water, it's used as a water source for people. You know, we have wildlife, fish, it's a recreation draw, it's you know, it's a big part of our economy. So this is an item that came up at, you know, some meetings in the past, and so it's going to come in front of the board, and if the board agrees that it's a good idea, or that we can work on it, the county staff can work on that, then we can bring back a draft agreement to take a look at and see if that's something we'll enter. And that ends my report for tonight. Yes.
And so Supervisor Rasmussen, when we look at this collaboration between the tribes and the state departments and the county,
Yeah.
with the county management, I'm just curious, when they work together to facilitate an overview of how to manage and everybody in the same direction with guidelines or parameters to work with and in communications, do you feel that they might come up with, and I know when we say the lake, so you clarified more wildlife and probably tributaries like Scotts Creek and everything else that deals with the lake. Do you think they're going to have a vision at the end, or a vision with a time date that might be something that they shoot forward to? In other words, what is their vision and what is their view of when this might come up, or is it going to be something that's be continued as more planning is needing and researching it?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think I can answer it tonight, but all of these agencies and governments are already, working together. There's a lot going on with the management of Clear Lake, but I think having a formalized, document and a pledge that we're all going to work together and we're going to operate, the same to make it easier, I think is a beneficial thing. So that's why, it's going to come in front of the board, and of course with the support of, co-sponsor on that, Chair Crandall is involved with me as well. So I'm hoping that can just expand and be better for the lake in the future. I don't know how it's all going to play out.
I think it's an excellent first step to bring those people together. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, so, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, excellent.
Margot?
You have a question?
Do you mind talking about the scope of this agreement? So I'll give you an example. Middle Creek Restoration. So I believe it's the County of Lake is the lead agency, and so it's in the process of buying properties along Middle Creek for that restoration. And so if there is this joint agreement, then will they be co-equal parties, or is it still County of Lake that's legally on the hook?
It would still be County of Lake, but I think to try to explain it a little better, that we have written guidelines essentially on how we're all going to operate together for the best interest of the lake and all of its uses, whether it be, addressing harmful algae blooms or management of hitch, or managing the lake for any of its resources or recreation. I think that's kind of my vision of it, but it's not seeking to give up or change legally any of the management responsibilities, or changing, the county's legal responsibilities on that. That would make it way, way more complex and time consuming. So I think, my vision for it is basically a pledge that we're going to work together in writing. But Middle Creek is a big part of, what needs to be addressed for the lake. Yes, Jared? Did you?
Yeah, I just think tightening up the collaboration is a great idea. There's so many parts and pieces and stuff, and I think we'd be more effective at all kinds of getting funding and different things by tightening up the collaboration. So this is really good to hear.
Yeah, 100%. I think those are all positives, and I don't see a negative to doing that at this point.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we'll be moving it forward throughout the year. See what the board has to say when it gets in front of them. Any other questions?
I don't see any. I want to say thank you, Supervisor Rasmussen. I think we needed a northbound train with northbound tickets for everybody finally, and I finally think we're going northbound.
All right, well, thank you.
Let's go kill those rats. What? Okay, thank you, Supervisor. It's so refreshing to hear reports like this, so that's excellent. And next item is item E under updates, observations regarding groundwater, fire mitigation, and Scotts Valley infrastructure. Anybody on the council have any input at this time on any of the items?
I'm so happy it rained.
Well, I still think it's important to pursue the idea of a evacuation plan for Icoff Road. That's certainly something that should be opened up at the other end to give people a chance to evacuate should a fire get going in that area. And being narrow road and the condition it's in, that's something that I think that needs to continue and try to collaborate resources to do some type of planning, just like they did the Soda Bay evacuation area plan. So that's something that I think we need to keep looking at. Certainly, we don't want to lose anybody to fire, and much less burn up all their property. So the other question is with BLM, hopefully they can keep doing a program of controlled burning, trying to mosaic that mountain and put in a fuel break. That'll be substantial to help us in the future.
Do you think, Ms. Supervisor Rasmussen, it was something that somebody in local government could approach that property owner to see if they were willing to change their mind about opening the gate during emergencies?
You're talking about the gate up here that goes over towards the wastewater property? Yeah, I think, I could talk to OES about that and have a conversation and see if that's something that they've looked at or if we could. I'm not familiar with the condition of that road. Is it passable by any vehicle?
It's passable via most vehicles, depending on how muddy it is, of course.
Yeah,
It's not a paved road.
okay.
But I've managed to do it in a non-four-wheel drive vehicle.
Yeah,
It goes through cow pastures, but there are no cows there right now. And the Department of Public Works used to have a key until the year before last, and they opened it whenever Scotts Valley was closed. And then last year, or the season before this one, halfway through the rainy season, the property owner said no.
okay.
And so I don't know why, nobody told me why, but it's always been by their grace that they've allowed it, so.
Well, we'd have to talk to them and see if that would be something that they might do in an emergency.
Right, and I just thought it might be more productive if somebody from the local government or the sheriff's office would ask them, as opposed to me.
Well, let me start with talking to OES and
Okay.
seeing what they
Are willing to do?
or know about it. I don't even know who the property owner is, so.
I can let you know.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'll make a note on that.
Great, thank
Yeah.
you.
Continuing item E, anybody from the public, any observations that they want to bring forth? Margot?
A suggestion. So it may only be tangentially related, but it's a topic that your council has addressed before, but it is not completely addressed. And that is the Scotts Valley Water Conservation District. Water is a big concern for many residents in the valley. For example, flooding. But you also have a concern about your groundwater, and that's life. So you may want to think about the possibilities of that water conservation district dissolving, but its duties, you may want to absorb them for your consideration and perhaps discussion at the next meeting or meetings. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I know the call is out for members right now, and we have to wait to see if there's anybody that steps up to apply and if it reforms or what the direction is. And
That won't really help because that district only encompasses, I believe, 100 parcels, and they're nowhere near Icoff. Yeah, so it's something that those property owners started, and it's that district. And so even if gets reactivated, it won't help the rest of Scotts Valley.
Rats. Well, so does that body have jurisdiction for groundwater decisions for the entire Scotts Valley, or just those parcels?
I think Brad Rasmussen can address that.
I'm sorry, I was looking at a message. Margot, can you?
For the Scotts Valley Water Conservation District, they have scope, they are making decisions only for those 100 parcels or for the entire Scotts Valley?
Well, I think that
Thank you.
Thank you.
for the 6 reasons that that conservation district was created, some of those reasons had to do with creek flooding and stuff, which would be affecting the whole Scotts Valley, but the conservation district is only focused on the 100 parcels in a smaller footprint in the valley, but also they really haven't done anything on that. That's the only thing they've been doing in any time recently has been monitoring the city of Lakeport's water usage from the aquifer. That's it. They really haven't addressed any of the other reasons that they were created, from what I can tell, which was, you know, monitoring the Lakeport water use, the dam construction, which stopped 50 years ago, monitoring flash dams that the city was going to put in, that's off the table. That was also 50 years ago. Monitoring the gravels in the creek, and there was a couple other ones, but really what the main reason that they formed and went forward with that was to monitor and take action against the city if they believed that the city was overdrawing from the aquifer. And so that's what they focused on. But when it comes down to it, if they were making decisions or something on flooding, it really goes further than their footprint. I mean, they're just focused, but the flooding is a bigger part of Scotts Valley than just that footprint, I believe. Because it's only 100 parcels in this main valley area. Hopefully that answers the question.
Thank you, Supervisor, for that comment. Any other questions before we move on? Not seeing any, we're going to move on to item F, outgoing input to the general plan or local area plans.
Ongoing.
Ongoing, oh, sorry. Dirty glasses. Dirty mind, no. Anybody on the council have any comment on the area plan or general plan?
Nope.
If not, I'll turn it over to Margot.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Drafts of the updated general plan and local area plans are expected by the end of this year. To be proactive, local area plan advisory committee members may wish to request to see drafts as soon as they are available. Members may also wish to request to see materials submitted to the consultant. Related to the update of the general plan and the local area plans is the update of the Housing Implementation Action Plan, HAPE. Using the radio alphabet, H is H Hotel, A Alpha, I India, P Papa. Last week, Lake County Deputy Administrative Officers made a presentation on economic development and housing to the Lake County Planning Commission. Of note is HAPE's goal of prioritizing infill areas for development. The county has an online tool that identifies areas for development. It is possible to filter search criteria for infill areas when seeking potential properties for development. Scotts Valley residents and members of the Lakeport Local Area Plan Advisory Committee members who are concerned about growth and housing may be interested in taking a closer look at HAPE for recommendations for local housing, for locating housing. Your council may be interested in creating a land use committee to review proposed projects within the Scotts Valley Community Advisory Council boundaries. In early September, Lake County Eastern Region Town Hall did so. Documents on a proposed project that requires a use permit circulate among agencies and organizations for comment. The Eastern Region Town Hall Land Use Committee will be added to the distribution list. The Land Use Committee will also review the anticipated increased number of requests to rezone and make other land use changes within Eastern Region Town Hall boundaries, coinciding with updates to the general plan and the local area plan. A significant factor affecting growth is water, and we talked about this a little bit just a few minutes ago. While the Scotts Valley Water Conservation District, its current scope may not be of keen interest to your council, there are some parts of that mission that may still resonate, such as the flooding concerns, and also monitoring groundwater use. You do have a neighbor, Lakeport, that can be growing and can have anticipated growth over the next 20, 25 years, and you may want to be an active partner in that growth. And monitoring water is one of the ways to do that. I bring that to your attention for future discussion and your consideration. Your council expressed support for preserving agricultural lands and open spaces. Recently, the Lake County Board of Supervisors approved a mixed-use development called the Gwinoc Valley Project. The project files describe the potential impact to remove up to 325 acres from agricultural production. Before the Board of Supervisors approved the project, Lake County Agriculture Commissioner Catherine Vanderwall and Lake County Farm Bureau Executive Director Rebecca Harper voiced concern on this topic. Discussions with the developer revealed that the number of affected agricultural acreage may be less than originally believed. So, Council, thank you for your support and voicing concerns about losing the rural nature of our county and making a voice in terms of direction for development.
Well, thank you for giving them our letter.
Certainly. And that concludes my update for general plan and local area plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a solid reporter. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Any questions for Margot's report from anybody before we move on? And not hearing any. It sounds good, like they might come to completion by the end of the year, which is a little over 3 months away. So that sounds interesting. We'll see. Hope they can make it. Next item G is the council members' updates and calendar items. I'll start with Cornelia. You got anything to share?
We had, I received a mini grant from, I guess, a sub-grant from a bigger grant from the, whatever that is, fire protection, from NFPA.
National Fire Protection Association.
There we go. Of $300 to do defensible space work in Scotts Valley. And the things that were allowed to be used, the money that I received was allowed to be used for hauling brush, feeding my volunteers, and buying tools to make it happen. And it was a $300 grant, and we spent $294. And we had 40 human hours, and we decided to devote those 2 action days to this building. And we created a 100-foot defensible space around the structure. And we worked Sunday and Monday. Most of you who came on Monday, Eric and I came on Sunday, and he limbed up as much as he could on the on the trees that he could reach. And Jared hauled them all away, and with, with help from Bibiana. And, excuse me, we had a total of 10 volunteers, and it was really wonderful. Came together last minute, because we had to get it done by the end of August, and it was incredibly successful, and I'm very, very happy with the results. That's it.
So I'm just questioning, that's great. I mean, that's fantastic news, and certainly, when you drive in here, you can certainly see the difference. I was just wondering for the future, is all the property we work on within the Scotts Valley Women's Club property? Or was there any other neighbors that we crossed lines?
No, we just focused on this building and its properties,
Okay.
because
there's
we didn't have enough time to plan. It was a short notice grant.
This little grove of trees to the north is still on their property, so that could be a future focus.
I was just wondering if we can get, maybe,
What? Oh, hold on, I didn't hear what you said.
he said a grove of trees in the north there might be a
Yeah.
future project to trim
Oh,
up.
yeah, we're not done, but, you know, we did a lot.
So I'm just wondering if I talk to some of the local weed sprayers, that they might donate some future spraying to keep down the weeds, and so we don't have to use so much physical labor.
We try to stay away from chemicals because of the watershed. The weed whacking actually was the easiest part. Hauling away the brush was, I think, the hardest part. And limbing up the trees won't need to be done on an annual basis, but there are a few snags that need to be chopped down. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it's open-ended, how much we could do down on this end of the building.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course we could keep going.
Yeah.
But as far as an annual effort, we could make this an annual event, part of our Firewise Community Action Days. These 2 days count towards our annual certification for Firewise.
Oh, excellent. Jarrett, you got anything to follow up with? We're talking about,
I'm running behind on getting BLM people over to speak to us. They've got a lot of new people over there. I kind of want to build a little relationship with them, find out who's most open and wants to work with us on what focuses. So anyway, I'm still working on that.
Are you talking about BLM?
Pardon?
Are you talking about BLM?
Yes.
I have somebody you might want to talk to.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Well, let's check in
Yeah.
on that.
Okay.
okay, thank you, Jarrett. Jody, anything to follow up with?
No, just that I wanted to remind Jared that there's somebody on my property that works for BLM now. He's captive.
That sounds like. And Joel, anything that you have, an update?
No, thank you very much.
I just want to remind everybody that for the rest of this year, we have 2 more meetings, one in October and one in November. We take this month of December off. I want to remind the council members, Jody, Cornelia, and Jarrett, that your terms are up on January 1st, 2026. And
Yay.
so you're going to need to apply at the county to stay on, and we hope we do with all your good work. But it just, I would say, think about it, and I would say apply at least by November. Get it done ahead of time so your name is in there, the paperwork's done, and it gives the county a chance to make sure that there's any questions that need to be completed on your applications, that you have plenty of time to do it before the deadline on that.
When is the do you have the date for the January meeting?
Not yet. I was going to come out with that next month, next meeting with some dates here, because I got to look for holiday things, the third Monday of the month. But according to this, 1/1/26, and then Joel and my are 1/1/27 on our terms, still going. So you're stuck for another year after this.
That's fine.
Okay, but I just wanted to make sure. So I encourage you to get those things. Anybody in the public who wants to apply for it, you need to go to the County Administrative Center and put in for the Scotts Valley Advisory Committee if you want to be considered a member. So it's just a thought that a little pre-planning never hurts to get us focused on that.
It would be Martin Luther King Jr. Day,
On what?
the third Monday in January.
Well, okay, so that's why I need to, at the next meeting, I'm going to try to come up with a calendar of events. That's something we need to add to the next meeting.
But that doesn't mean we can't meet.
No, I'm just saying that I want to go through and look through the whole calendar and see what's available and bring it on the agenda. So, Jared, if you put on the, for next month. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, October's meeting, presentation of the calendar for the year of 2026. And so we make sure we follow on that, and we're going to come up to that.
I just want to make sure we check in with PEG too on these dates if we change,
With who?
with PEG TV.
Yeah,
we
well,
change
yeah,
anything.
we'll certainly do that.
Because
you know.
like you could meet on the 17th, but that doesn't mean he's available.
That's right.
I don't know. So,
That's why he comes to these meetings,
right.
to make sure we're on track. Yeah, and we appreciate all you do for us.
Or I might not necessarily be available, but I don't have to be here for you guys to meet.
Right. We'll just
Right.
have a party, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good point, but it's important that we try to plan ahead with our calendar so we can make it public and let people know. Let's move on to item H, future meeting agenda items. I just mentioned one, the calendar, presentation of the calendar for the year 2026 after we check for holidays and so forth.
Next meeting is October 20th.
So October 20th meeting. So I'm going to ask Jody, you have anything that you feel you need to have onto the agenda?
No.
Okay, Joel?
No, thank you.
Okay, Cornelia?
Not yet.
Okay, we look at any speakers that you were looking at? Okay, Jarrett?
I will try and line up Larry Ray coming.
Okay, Larry, okay.
We do have a speaker, but I can't remember. Do you remember?
The speaker for October,
Yeah.
community development on the climate adaptation plan.
Oh, right,
They
right.
reached out to you and wanted to speak in October.
Yeah. So they're going to be on the agenda.
Yeah, they're already on there. That's the
Yeah. They're
draft of the community adaptation plan by community development.
Right.
Yeah. I just didn't have the right name. But
Sorry, I
yes,
wasn't using the mic on that one.
that's for October 20th. We're going to have a speaker from climate adaptation.
Community Development Department will be talking about the climate adaptation plan.
Community development.
Yes.
Yes. What is that? Do you know who that is?
I believe it was Shannon
Oh,
Walker
yeah.
Smith, I believe, that
Yes.
emailed you.
That's right, Shannon.
Brad, we had a question about what is that plan or that group?
Well, that's the, I need to look at it to
Okay,
answer that question.
not a problem. Not a problem. So anyway, so we got, we're ready for our next meeting unless somebody else, and the council has something. So very good, appreciate it all, appreciate you. So the next meeting, October 20th. Uh-oh, we got one last sneaker in here.
Yeah, Tom Lacey, I just didn't catch, I know that we were supposed to have an electric vehicle presentation for this meeting. Has that been rescheduled?
She hasn't gotten back to me yet
Okay,
about which date.
okay, all right, thank you.
But they will be coming
Yeah.
back.
They are. They're coming back, and the link that was on the agenda, you can go on that link, and I think they allow feedback already. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
Yeah, electric vehicles, I'm kind of asking for.
I know.
So,
We'll have one right here.
okay, thanks.
Okay, that, let me see. October 1st, public draft and climate plan.
We're done.
Oh, I just remember, folks, that And we thank Tom for being here all the time with your equipment. You can go on a Zoom meeting, and down at the bottom of your agenda is the meeting ID number and also the passcode that we have. So you're welcome to do that. Invite other people to come to the meeting and find out, share their concerns or wishes.
I guess we're not controversial enough for having, our meetings are not controversial enough to attract a lot of rowdy folks. Nobody on Zoom?
One thought is I talked to Rick White, who is the new chair of the, Big Valley Advisory Committee. And we're talking about the ideas of having a joint meeting, and so we're trying to figure out, when we said that to each other, what are we going to accomplish by having a joint meeting?
Nothing.
Just, like I said, it was just brought up a joint meeting between the groups. Only thing we have in common is a boundary that we touch each other, and
Got a supervisor.
and that type of thing. But yeah, they have another supervisor, or different. They have two supervisors for that and that. So I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but it was discussed in that. Anyway, we're near the end of the meeting. I want to appreciate everybody for being here today. Thank
And
you.
just so you guys know, Angela from the Eastern Region Town Hall dropped in tonight.
Oh, well,
And
that's
she-
great.
Yeah, you can say hello to her. She's in the viewing room now.
Well, welcome, Angela. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Angela.
Come earlier next time.
She kind of got here right on time. I mean, 10 minutes late, but
Oh,
thanks,
okay.
Angela.
Oh, she missed the coffee and donut seller. But again, we thank you. I appreciate you being here tonight. And without anything else from the board, I'm going to call this meeting to adjournment. Not seeing anybody. It is now 6:02. I call this meeting to adjournment.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.